Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ayomide. I am a Nigerian. If you're new here, you are absolutely welcome. On this channel, you're going to find DIY sewing tutorials and also pattern drafting tutorials. In this tutorial today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to sew a welt pocket, and I'm going to be showing us two ways. Yes, two ways on how to achieve a welt pocket. And you can use this for a trouser, your bomber jacket, your tailor jacket. It works. And for the trouser, you can even use it for a female trouser. So if you want to learn how to do that in two different ways, then you should see this video till the end. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and just click on the subscribe button below, and you could also turn on your notifications so you can become notified whenever I upload a new video. Now let's get started. Alright guys, starting with the first method, I have this fabric that I have drafted out my welt opening. So whether you are doing this for a trouser or a jacket, it is the same method. One thing you should know is that this would be the upper part of my fabric and this would be the lower part. So what that means is that my hand will be coming into the pocket this way. So the hand is coming into the pocket this way. Okay, so my pocket opening is 5 inches wide, and it is 0.75 in length. Okay, if this is the length and this is the wideness, however you understand it, but this is 5 inches and this is 0.75. This line that runs through in the middle is dividing this pocket box or pocket opening into two equal parts. And in order to achieve this like a Y shape at the corner, all I did was to mark about 0.25 inch away, and then I created it to this corner. I just drew a slanted line. I'm going to be showing us the implication of this line later on. I also have my welt. I'm going to be using this pattern fabric for a welt so as to differentiate it. So this welt is 6 inches in length. I did it this way because we are going to be needing half an inch on both sides. So it is 6 inches in length. So the welt is 6 inches, can you see? And the height of your welt would be 0.25 inch more than your pocket opening. Remember I said the pocket opening is 0.75 plus 0.25, that would give us 1 inch. So my welt is 1 inch. Now your pocket opening could also be 0.5. It depends on what you want. So if your welt opening, your pocket opening is 0.5, that means your welt will be 0.75, and it goes on and on like that. Another thing I have here is these two pieces of fabric that would serve as the pocket bag and the pocket lining. The only difference between these two is the height. The pocket bag is longer. This is the pocket bag, the longer one. It is longer than the pocket lining by the length of this pocket opening. And remember I said it is 0.75 inch. So the pocket bag is 0.75 inch more than the lining. All right. So like I said before, this is our welt. We have our pocket lining that is shorter than the pocket bag. The pocket bag is 0.75 inch more than the pocket bag is 0.75 inch more than the lining. So guys, to get started, I marked 0.5 inch away on this side. I don't know if you can see it, I'm not sure, but here's the mark. I also marked 0.5 inch away on this side, so that at the end of the day we are going to be having 5 inches. Remember I said the welt is 6 inches, so I have 5 inches. What that means is that I'm going to be aligning these two lines with the line of my welt opening. So I'll just bring my welt here and then I'll place it here. Can you see? So I'll just place it here like this. Then I'm going to be grabbing my pocket lining. I have also marked 0.5 inch away on this side. I'm sure you would be able to see this because this fabric is quite dark and I'm using a white chalk, and I did the same thing here too. So what that means is that I have 5 inches also. I have 5 inches. I'll also align this mark with the mark here, and I'm going to be pinning it down carefully. This is very, very important. So I would use my pin now to secure it. So guys, I've pinned it down. I have my welt and my pocket lining. The next thing I'll do now is to grab my pocket bag itself, and I have also marked half an inch away because the pocket bag is also 6 inches wide. The welt is 6 inches wide too. The pocket lining is also 6 inches wide. They are all 6 inches wide. It is only the pocket opening that is 5 inches wide. So I'm going to be aligning this line that I marked half inch away from here, half inch away from here, meaning from here to here we have 5 inches. I'll also align it to this upper line. So remember I said here is the upper part. If you are doing this for a trouser, this would be the upper part of your trouser. This would be the lower part. If you are doing this for a jacket, this would be the upper part of your jacket. This would be the lower part. The welt and the pocket lining goes to the lower part. Your pocket bag would go to the upper part. Okay, so I'm going to be aligning the pocket bag too, just like I did for the other ones. I'll just go ahead and pin it down now. So guys, after aligning it, what I'll do next is to sew, and I'm not going to be starting from the end of this welt and the pocket lining. I'll be starting just after this half inch that I marked away, and I'm going to be sewing by 3/4 of an inch all the way and stop right here. I'll do the same thing for the pocket bag, start right from here and stop right here. Alright guys, I'm done sewing. I used a contrasting color so that you guys can see. I don't know if I said this before, but this side of my fabric is the right side. So if you're doing this, you're placing your welt, the right side of your pocket lining on the right side of your fabric, and also the right side of your pocket bag on the right side of your fabric too. So I have gone ahead to sew. What we're going to be doing next is that, remember that dividing line in the middle of the pockets opening, I'm going to be slashing it. You see this dividing line in the middle of the pocket opening, that with the pocket opening that I drew on the actual fabric, I'm going to be slashing this line, and I'll stop here. When I get here, I would now create a notch that extends to this side, and also another notch that extends to this side. So what that means is that I'm not going to be slashing it all the way down. I would slash it, stop right here, create this notch and this notch. I'm also going to be repeating the same thing for this side of the pocket opening too. Okay guys, so I have slashed it open and I created the corners like an envelope corner around here. Can you see? So I have like a V here, and I also have the same thing here. So what we are going to be doing is that we are going to be turning the pocket bag to the wrong side of the fabric, and the pocket lining also. So on the flip side of the fabric is where it's going to be like this. So guys, this is the wrong side of my fabric. I have the pocket lining. This is the welt. Make sure you have this edge here, this V-shaped notch we made, placed this way. Then you have your pocket bag this way. So we are going to be ironing, but before ironing, just place everything together. Your pocket lining, the welt, this notch we made, and the pocket bag. I'll just pin it. I'll do the same thing for this side too. I have my pocket lining, the welt, this notch we made, and the pocket bag. So I'll go ahead and pin it and then give this a good press. Okay designer, so I've ironed it. Now we are going to be stitching the pocket bag to the pocket lining. So you can see that the pocket bag and the lining are almost of the same length now. So to stitch, make sure you grab this notch we made, grab this notch grab your welt, and then grab, you know, your welt is now with the pocket lining now. So I'm grabbing the notch, the welt, and also the pocket bag, and then I'm going to be stitching this way. So I'm going to be stitching this notch, make sure it is out, your welt, and the pocket lining and the bag. I'm going to be stitching it all the way across to this other side of my pocket. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Let me take it again. Let me bring it close. So this is the notch we made. I'm going to be grabbing it. This is my welt, and then my pocket lining and my pocket bag. I'm going to be sewing it down like this all the way to this other side of the end of my pocket. So guys, I'm done stitching. I stitch this notch we made, the welt, the pocket bag, and the lining from one corner up until this other corner. And on the right side, this is what we are going to have. So our welt pocket is ready for use. Okay, and this is it on the flip side. So the welt pocket is quite easy to make. If you try it out, you can try it out if you haven't tried it out before. So guys, you can go ahead and try this out on your jackets, your bomber jacket, your tailor jackets, or even your trouser, be it a male or a female trouser. And to add a design to your pockets, you can use a different color of welt that is quite different from your fabric, so that makes it obvious that there is a pocket here. Okay, so it adds, you can also use it to add design to your clothes. Just use a different color or a different type of fabric for your welts here. Now let's get started. I have two different fabric pieces here for illustration purposes. Okay, so what we're going to be doing, or what I have done, is that I have drawn my pocket opening. My welt is going to be 5 inches wide. You can make yours 4 or 5.5 or 6 inches, but make it in such a way that your hand can pass through. Now I'm using this fabric piece for illustration purposes, but this part would serve as the upper part of my fabric. This would be the lower part. So my hand is coming in right this way. My hand will be coming in right this way. So this is going to be my main fabric, and then this would serve as my welt. What I did on my welt also is to duplicate my pocket opening. Like I said before, my welt pocket is 5 inches wide and 0.75 inch in length. Okay, this line right here divides the welt into 2 equal halves. So I have 1/4 of an inch here and 1/4 of an inch on this part too. So what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be placing this right on this, and to successfully do that, I'm going to be using a pin. So I'm going to be pinning it this way. I'll pin it at this corner and also locate that same corner on my main fabric. So this is going to be the right side of your main fabric. When you're working on your welt pocket, you start from the right side of your main fabric, and I would match it up here. So I'm trying to put them together. I will also pick this second corner and then match it up. I will do the same thing here also. Ideally, this should be smaller than your main fabric, but this is just for illustration purposes. I'm going to be trimming this off later on. This is the pocket bag. It should be smaller than the main fabric. So this is the pocket bag and this is the main fabric. I'll trim it off later on. What I'll do next is to sew this box. So I'm going to be sewing like this, like this, like this, and like this. I am not going to be sewing the dividing line, so I'll go ahead and do that. And while I'm sewing, I would make sure that my pin is out of the way. I can just pin this corner and pin here too, since I've already matched them together. So guys, I have stitched around the box You may not see it because I used black, but on the flip side I used purple. So here is the box that I stitched all around. I did not stitch the dividing line. Now before we move ahead, let me just go over this again. If you are using this for your jacket, this is going to be your jacket itself, whatever side you want to put your welt pocket, and this is going to be your pocket bag. Okay, now like I said, your pocket bag should be smaller. I'm going to be trimming this later on. This is just for illustration purposes. So because I used pin to match up my pocket opening of the pocket bag with the main fabric, I was able to stitch around the pocket opening of the main fabric too. So what we are going to be doing next is that we're going to be slashing open this line. But before you do that, you would want to mark about 0.3 inch, quarter of an inch, and then create this kind of diagonal line. I would create the same line here. I would also repeat the same thing at this corner. So what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be slashing the line and stop right here, and then slash it open this way and this way. I would do the same thing here. So I am not entirely going to just run my slash all the way down. So guys, I'm done. And when you're slashing, you would want to make sure that you slash really close to your seam, but you don't slash through your seam. And you're going to be slashing both your pocket bag and your main fabric too. So what I will do is that I will now push this pocket bag to the wrong side of the fabric. So on the wrong side, this is what we are going to have. What I will do next is to give this a very good press. So you can see my pocket opening. I'm going to be ironing this down very well. I'll give it a very good press. So guys, I'm done ironing. This is the right side, and this is going to be the wrong side of the fabric. So if you are having any difficulty ironing, you can just trim the seam here, and you can also use your pin to pin it down first before you iron. So the next thing we are going to be doing now is to create the welt, and to do that, all you have to do is to match. Just grab, this is the pocket bag now, just grab it this way and then make sure it matches up. Can you see what I'm doing? Just fold it a little bit and make sure it covers this opening a little bit. Don't cover it too much. If you cover it too much, you may not be able to access the pocket. So just grab it gently and then just pass it over the opening. So this edge should just align with the opening. It should not overlap it. That's what I'm going to be doing now. My fabric is quite light, so I'm just taking my time to take it. So once I've achieved that, I'll just pin it down. Then I'm also going to be ironing this that I just did. So guys, I'm done ironing. What I'll do next is to grab it this way and also pick up this notch we made and then just sew it on this alone. So I'm going to be sewing this down, and I'm also going to be sewing this down. This is to put whatever we did here in place. Okay guys, so I'm done stitching. I stitched this corner and I also stitched this corner also, and on the right side this is what we have. Okay, this part is laying nice. I don't know why I have like a tag here. This part is not really laying nice. Maybe I did not notch well, but I think I like the way it's looking still. I love this part, it's looking really good. So this is what it looks like. Now we need to carry out more step, and if you look at it on the flip side, the length of this pocket piece has reduced because of what we did here. So you would also want to consider this when you are cutting the length of your pocket. Don't make it too small, so that at the end of the day when you carry out this step it is now too short, and if you have it long you can always trim it. So what I'll do next is to measure this piece from here to here, measure the length and the width, and cut out an exact replica of the measurement. So I have 6.5 by about 7 inches, and I am gonna ahead to cut out that piece. So this piece would also come and lay nicely on it. So this is going to be the pocket lining, and I'll just place it on it this way, and I'm going to be sewing it by the edges all the way around. I think it's supposed to be like this. Yes, so it's going to go like this, and then I'll pick the lining and the pocket piece or the pocket bag and then sew it by the edges all the way around, so that we can have our pocket as a single piece. So guys, I'm done attaching the lining, and this is our welt pocket is ready. So if you try any of this method, feel free to share it with me. The link to my Instagram page is going to be in the description box. Alright guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so and subscribe to the channel for more videos. If you have found this very helpful, please like, share and comment. And until my next video guys, make sure you have a wonderful day.